Good morning, everyone. I think this thing's up. There we go. Good morning, good morning. Welcome. Welcome to the Trading Syndicate. I'm JJ. Hey, I am listening. Raj. Encom, how you doing? Hey, Timo. Hey, what's up, Mr. Simpson? Good morning, good morning. Good afternoon to all of those on the other side of the pond. What's up, Alexander? Hey, forget about it. What's going on? Forget about it. How's Jersey? I assume you live in Jersey. Brooklyn? Uh, okay. Notice I'm trying to avoid work. Hey, Hank, what's going on? Hey, Oka, how you doing? How you feeling? Oh, okay. Okay. Let's lift up the hood and see what's cracking. Well, good thing is, folks, the U.S. markets are working perfectly well, right? You get a big distribution 2 days ago. Yesterday, you get a liquidation right back. You buy it all back. You sell it at night higher. The machine is working. The machine that we call the U.S. market, it's working. It's working beautifully. Inventory is being moved up and down. You know, as we sort of creep into month end. Now, am I short biased? Am I long biased? This is one of the stranger quarters I've seen in a long time. And folks who have been with me since the room opened 5 years ago, 6 years ago, we've seen some strange things with COVID and markets being locked limit down. And it's, but this is a little nuts. This is a little nuts. And I know everybody really wants to short the holy living crap out of it. But friends, I will tell you one thing. If you are, hey, hola, Manuel. Todo tranquilo. The man, I was looking at some pictures of Buenos Aires, and man, it looks really cool. I'd love to visit. Um, 67.88 and three quarter. We are so close to that level. That's a big level for me. That's the top of a very big range. The bottom of which is 65.47. So we're really close. And, the end of the quarter, now I'm hoping we get some. Here's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for some liquidation down here to fill in the people who are short in these levels. If we don't get that, okay, look for sideways, right? We have inventory positioned here, here, here. We got to get rid of that inventory, right? So you got to take this volume and sell it up here. And if you can hold off selling under 6,700, the shorts will come in and support the bid, right? So, I mean, if you look, Yesterday we looked below the previous day low, but we closed above it. So yesterday to the downside, right? We went and checked out underneath 6705, right back up, right? And then now we're taking this inventory and we're selling it up here. I'm looking for a correction down off of the open. That's the normal kind of course of business, is to have some sort of down move after the open. Let's see if that happens. If we don't, then it's going to be, this is what I don't want, but sometimes happens quite often in markets, is you get a liquidation, right? You'll get a liquidation and it just gets bought up so quickly. And here's what you guys got to watch out for, okay? Under 67.15, 67.18, right there, right where the close is. If enough people got short here yesterday and added to it in the overnight, look for this. That is a situation, that is a scenario that is played out over and over and over again, which your target would be then 67.40 and change. That is if we do not correct inventory lower. So the normal trade is we short it down to the close, right? It finds buying at the close. If there's any serious liquidation, it takes out the overnight low, comes back in and does one of these, right? That's like a normal course of business, right? Because there's only this much inventory above 67.25. We only had this day and this day, right? It's not like we had 2 weeks of inventory up here that's flushing down. There's not that much to clean up. You also have to remember that because the ranges are so large, a large percentage of the people who were long here would have flushed out yesterday. They would not, I think that's too much pain. I mean, think about it. A 40-point hit on a position of 20 E-minis. You want to hold that overnight? And do you have the money to buy more and then sell it into that pump and you're still offside? Think about it. So a lot of this might have been flushed out. How do we tell if we're going to get higher? That's if we take the top of these single prints. See, we created single prints to the downside. We filled in these ones, but we created new ones to the downside, and that's trapped long. Hey, AZS, what's going on? So if we get back up over 32, be careful, because your target will be that 41 area. Right? I'm always short biased when inventory is long. Right? That's just, I'm a wholesaler. Right? Inventory's long, I'm short biased. I redid this balance zone. I don't know if you guys want to use it. 22 half to 26. I was bored. And, I traded this a little bit. I just traded outside in a couple of times. Trading this week is not, I have a discipline problem this week. I'm really having a discipline problem. It's not good. 24. Yeah, if it works for you, Fred, all you're looking for in a balance zone is you're looking for sellers to consistently sell at this level and to stop selling at this level. So it goes like that. What you guys call consolidation. I'm having a discipline problem because I keep thinking it's summertime. I haven't gotten into the fall yet because it's sunny every day here in Liverpool. So it's tricking my brain into thinking it's still summer. So, yeah, exactly. Yeah, we can't do that anymore. You know, the labor practices we practiced in boiler rooms in the 90s, those really wouldn't go down. You're locked in the room until you produce a buy order. uh, so I'm having a little bit of trouble with my discipline. I got to get my act together. Right. Just so you know, you're not always like a trading machine, you know? Yeah, burning people with cigars is frowned on by all HR. Exactly. That's standard trade desk operating procedure. Burn somebody with a cigar. Who hasn't done that? Ah, just some harmless fun. Well, I don't know. I'm really short biased. I hate these tiny little candles. It's like we need more business in this market. Do we have any news today? Oh, yeah, especially if you miss trades for important clients, oh my God. We had this one of our traders, he's like punch the wall. It just uh well, the drywall guy got a lot of work. All right, can we take out the V and W low at 23 and a half? Okay, get to work, JJ. Jesus. Oh, inventory is correcting lower. New home sales. Well, I hope you guys all bought houses. Get out there and stimulate the economy, you know? Gosh. See, look at that. See, you can see the bids right there. Right. When a market stops and support is created, support's actually created by unfilled buy orders. That's what that is. So let's see. The next area would be here, and of course the next area is 21 quarter. Oh yeah. It's weird when you don't work in the business and you leave the business. You're like, I don't have any deals that are active right now to work on, and that sense of urgency when you trade retail. Oh, look, bids. Hello. Hello. Look at that. We found the bid at 23. A little bit of a buyer. Did you guys notice how that, like, look at this. I know. Excuse me. It's really dry in here. Hey, Lear, what's going on? Did you notice how when X period took the low of where that W and V period were, as soon as it tagged 23 and a half, did it not look like it sat on a tack? Yes, if I am undisciplined, I have an actionable step to change it. Definitely. I have a 5-step process that I go through, and that's drawing out the balance zones, watching the price action, taking some test trades with the micro, and you force yourself back into discipline. I think a lot of it has been because the market over the last couple of weeks at nighttime when I trade has been insanely slow. So I've gone and done other things. But do you notice when X period took the V and W low, how quickly it jammed up and moved higher, right? Also, Fred, here's the most important thing, right? When I'm undisciplined, I'll say it out loud, and I'll tell you guys, right? That's kind of the nice thing about having people to talk to when you're trading. It's like a confessional, right? Like, man, I'm dogging it today. I'm not disciplined. I'm not sharp. And by saying those things out loud, then you can work on it. You know what I mean? I don't know if that helps. That's what helps me, is to be aware of it, right? And for me, saying it out loud, like a lot of times I'll be like, I'm short biased or I'm long biased. That way I say it out loud and I'm aware of it. And if the market doesn't do what my bias is, then I have to trade against my bias, right? So for me, a lot of trading is being knowledgeable about not only what the market is doing, but how you are operating. Because let's face it, we're human beings. We're not always operating at optimal, you know. So we've got buyers. As soon as you open that door at 23, the buyers come in. Nobody wants to buy it over 25 and a half just yet, so it's kind of stuck. See, the market didn't even move. 66.90? Yeah, it would clear out all that support at 6,700, right? Yeah. You want to see, yeah, exactly, Larry. You want to see an aggressive seller under 66.90, right? Because then we'll have cleared out all that goofy support. Yeah. Whew. Still 10 minutes left to go before the open. Have you noticed that when you are curious about a certain area, that's where the market seems to go? Seems like it, eh? uh, Guns N' Roses. Wow. We are dating ourselves there, S-Pill. More like carbon dating. No, yesterday's liquidation didn't fix the slowness. The trading has been better, but not much. you know? Oh, I'll be very, very happy when this quarter is done. Yeah, at least we're not on all-time highs. We got a seller at 26 and three quarter. That's a start. I'll take it. No, it's the end of the quarter. Nobody wants to blow a quarter at the end of the quarter, right, Rosemark? Right? Say you're trading OPM, right? And you've had a good quarter. What do you do at the end of the quarter? You do everything to protect your quarter, right? You don't want to do anything crazy. You know what I mean? You've had, 3 good months, right? That's business, man. It's the ultimate business. And it's a nasty business. There's always an agenda. Hey, Mike, what's going on? Yeah, nobody wants to blow their quarter, right? You got today, you got Thursday, Friday, Monday, and Tuesday. All you got to do is not be a dumbass for 5 days, right? All you got to do is not do anything stupid for 5 days. You end your quarter, your investors are happy, life is good, right? Don't do anything stupid. That means less order flow, right? Less people are wanting to take shots, especially when you're at all-time highs. Exactly, Nano. Do you find a lot of ex-Wall Street guys down in Florida? That used to be the case. A lot of New Yorkers like Florida. Heck, I like Florida. You know, what's that place? Coconut Grove. I could live there. Exactly, Rosemark. Trades off the open. We're opening right in the middle of this chop. Let it open and chop up, okay, folks? Don't get too committed too early on. Wait for some direction. If you know what I mean? Right? Your references are the overnight high, and I'd say 67.21, right, to the downside. So we're going to bounce around, right? Or you could even use the box that I drew here, 26, 3/4 down to 22. We're going to bounce around. So trade the edges of that box until we get a breakout. Now, I don't usually go with breakouts because I've been told to sell it into breakouts, so but that's just me. If you have a good breakout trading strategy, then that's great. I suppose, if you wanted to trade a breakout, if it breaks up, you just put your stop, I guess, at 27, right? You could do that, I suppose. Let's see if it goes. Oh boy. 5 more minutes. Few little pre-market bids coming in. You can see the offer lifting into the open, right? Right. Let's see where they get up. See where they step in and start selling, right? That's what I'm always looking for. I'm looking to see where they step in and start selling, right? They'll sell it down to the bid, stop selling, and lift the offer, right? And that is the two-step of how one moves inventory. Okay. What are the hot stocks that are moving this morning pre-market? I haven't even looked. You need to move some inventory in your wallet. Exactly. Now you're thinking like a villain. I am a big believer in retail traders paying themselves. And I don't care if it's $20 or $5,000. Get used to paying yourself because then you'll expect to get paid. And when you expect to get paid, you're not going to make any stupid mistakes. Right? Get used to getting paid, even if it's $20 a day. We're always trying to entice buyers, I am listening. Always. It's life on the offer. That's why I think we're going to get a little bit of chop. Oh, we've had 28 all-time highs in the S&P this year, according to Bloomberg. And we can thank the short sellers for that. Because every time the market dips, they short the crap out of it, and it keeps going higher. We might be in a bubble. I don't think along those lines. I just let the chart tell me what's going on. I'm not a fortune teller. I'm not a fortune teller. One thing I do know, having squeezed stocks myself from 30 cents to $300 a share, is that it's never too high. As long as the supply is locked up, you can move price wherever you want. And I think that's self-evident now. Just people don't understand market structure. Right? Every time this market sells off, it goes higher. That is a huge example of a market where the supply is locked up. Before you look and read things on CNBC, go look at all the large companies and look at their floating supply. It's abbreviated to float. Go and see how much of their float is owned by companies that have trillions of dollars to invest with and pay for stock in cash, so they're never subject to margin liquidations. Right? I don't use words like bubbles. I use words like inventory, order flow, cost basis. Right? I've worked in the business, so I can't get caught up in all the drivel that's in financial press and regular news. Right? A lot of this stuff is invented: bubble, overbought, oversold, bullish, bearish, raccoonish, chipmunkish. Going looking for a seller. We're not going to take the overnight high? Okay. I tried to short it at 26 and a half and I missed it. Did not get taken. Let's see if the box works. Okay, so we'll look above and fail. We should come down to 22 half where that stop is. Here we go. If we break underneath 22, 21, oh, where the hell is VWAP? Anybody got VWAP off the top of their head? Ah, right there. We just tagged it. Long 23, selling 24 and 3/4. 23 and a quarter, selling 24 and a half. Oh, nice. Now we should rotate back up. Let's see if we can get back up over 25. If we can't, then we know that those overnight inventory sellers are there. Oh, tickled the 25s. All right, we're just working both sides of this box for now, right? 22 half, 26 3/4. Just trust the chart. From your experience, do you say monitoring stocks on RTH or ETH? For equities? Uh, the thing is, business contact, you know that it's going to be a 24-hour market in equities soon, right? Like we don't need any sleep. So I would start looking. It's a good question. You know why? Because I'm an inventory guy. So say a stock gets out of hand to the upside during the night session, right? Extended hours trading in stocks, right? Pushes the market higher. Then you get an inventory correction when the market opens, just like ES. So there's an edge that you could have there because you know what inventory corrections are where most of the market don't, right? Yeah, it takes time to change legislation. Don't worry. 24-hour trading is coming, just like same-day settlement. You can't slow down technology. One thing I've learned in this business is do not resist change. You'll get run right over. There we go. Right? You're looking for. Oh, gosh, sorry, I've got this in the wrong place. Nobody told me. See, I can just blame it on being old. You're looking for the close, ladies and gentlemen. Right? Oh, there's going to be 24-hour trading. Just like there's going to be, tokenization of securities. World's changing. Finance is always changing. It's always becoming more efficient, right? When I started trading in Canada, we had 13-day settlement. Now it's 1 day, right? In the old days, you used to have to physically run stock certificates from one brokerage firm and pick up a check. Can you imagine? People worked in something called a securities cage, which was usually in the basement of a brokerage firm. Things will change. They just need to build out the infrastructure and, of course, get the SEC on board, which shouldn't be a problem now since your president has gutted the SEC. Jeez. Let's see if we can stay above 23, folks. If we can, we'll rotate back up. Don't be surprised. We need a seller to get lower. We need an aggressive seller. So that's how you use these boxes, these weird little boxes that I've got, and these colored zones, right? If you are a short seller, right? We've got a seller here at 23, so you're golden, right? But if we get back above 23, right? then you could be in trouble, right? So say you're shorting 21, 22, right? Go put some bids down under 20 and 3/4. See if you could get a fill. If you can't, look. See? You still got that seller. VWAP's there. VWAP's your friend right now because there's a seller at VWAP. But as soon as we clear the 23 halves, right, you want to watch out, right? There you go. There you go. You're short 22, right? Put some bids out. If you have to, you might have to take the offer, right? Here we go. Come on, hit me at 20 and 3/4. There we go. Come on, give me 1.5. Come on. Short 22. I got to take the offer at 21, so I only have one left. Give it to me at a half. Thank you. Goodbye. Thank you. Come again. Just found the seller, sold alongside with the seller. That's it. Right? Simple, common sense. That's it. If we got up over 23, I'm scratched, I'm gone. Couple of points here, couple of points there. Pays the light bill. Just keep it simple, folks. We're looking for 16 and 3/4, 16 and a half, which is yesterday's close. Yeah, you're a little ahead of yourself, S-Pill. You kind of jumped ahead a few chapters in the book. You know, this is like one of those. What were those books that they had when we were kids? Hardy Boys and those mystery books. You just jump to the end of the Scooby Doo cartoon. But I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Can we tag the close? There'll be a little front running of some bids at the close if you're short and you're still short off that 22 short like I was. Uh, hey Jeff, thank you. Breath is green across the board. Nothing crazy, just sustainable breath, I would say. Oh, what's the next trade? Look below and fail if 16 and 3/4 and a rotation back up would be okay. Seller at 20. There we go. Come on. Sell it like you mean it. Come on. Look at all the short covering that's coming in at 18. Right? You can see the size. When they're done, we should drop down to the close. Oh, God. Really? Not even going to tag the close. Ugh. That's the other thing, right? You know, trading at new highs all the time, the pullbacks don't last as long. Look, point of control right there at 19 half. So they came in hot and heavy, right? The short sellers are hot and heavy there. Now let's see what the next order of business is. We've only been open for 12 minutes. Come on now. Come on. There we go. Come on. There we go. One tick at a time. Jeez. It's like trying to close an overstuffed suitcase. There's just so many bids. You just keep lifting the offer. They'll follow. Look at them come for it. Hungry, hungry hippos. Look at that. Look at them come for it. Front running that close. Right? Yeah, I think I got 16 quarter or half or something. They're front running it. Look at they're coming in for size. 2,000, 2,400, 2,800. Right? Everybody's coming in. It's like those social media posts when you see all the dogs fighting for the food. And that's the only thing holding it up above the close. So if those buyers, if they see any kind of size come at them on the offer, right, they'll take it up. They're just gobbling it up. If the sellers see that enough of these buyers, more buy orders are coming in, they'll start moving that offer and you'll start offering over 20. Because you've had a seller at 20. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Can we print the 20 quarter? Can we get a print? Not yet. Right. There we go. There's a 20 and a quarter print. Right. Next seller will be 21 half. 21 half. Right. Little backfill here. Go test and see if those buyers are still bid under 20. If they are, the offer will move away from them. If they're not, the offer will move under 19. If then. Whoa! Somebody was like, you know what? Let me just sell a few thousand here. Still didn't take out the close. Still didn't take out the close. A little bit of size. Excuse me. We should take out the close now. Yes. I would. Now I'm starting to get more and more short biased. And I'm looking to see if we can come down to the overnight now. Now, this is a bit of a contentious area. So generally, unless there's a clear trade, I am not going to take a trade right now. I'd rather let the large traders work this out. I want the market to find its morning low without me being a financial contributor to it. You know what I mean? I don't know what that is. So, sit? Yeah, okay. Sit on heads. Oh, okay. Sorry, it's a little small. Couldn't figure out what that was. It's a very slow, creepy crawl down to that overnight low at 11 and change. What's an emoji of a man doing yoga? Okay, all right. All right, let's see. A little look below and fail of 16 and 3/4. Now remember, if you are going long, right, there's going to be some sellers at 19, right? You might be going along a little early. I'm going to wait. See? That was just a momentary interruption of supply for that one green candle. And they immediately sold into it at 18. So what we like to do in our trading room at the Trading Syndicate is we like to show you the practical aspects of using candles, and then you can incorporate that in whatever you're using. Right? So whether you trade EMAs or fibs or whatever, right, you can use the techniques that we show you, the actual mechanics of the market, and combine that with whatever analysis method you use, if it's working for you. There we go, looking for 13 and a half. Taking out the lower stops. Now we're looking for the overnight low. No reason for me to go long, even think about going long, right? If you're short, you're going to find some buy orders down here that are going to compete with you. There's the overnight low. Should break that. There you go. And if you get acceptance under 67.10, you're looking for 67.05, I would say. If we accept back over the overnight low, don't go long until we get over 13 and a half. It'll help clean this area out, right? This area, this is where large players are going to come in. So if you take it long over 13 and a half, right, make it prove itself to you. Let the large traders clean this out, and then make the market prove itself, right? That's why I like to look below and fail. See? Right? No reason to go long. Seller just at 13 and a half on that one candle. Going to take a little pause at 10 and a quarter, look for some bids. And then if that breaks, right, there's two scenarios now: to stop and go back up to 10, or sell them down to 7. Right? There's 7 3/4. Right? Nice. Nice. Coming in. Coming in. Now we're looking for 67.04 3/4 and the previous day low. Hey, good liquidation. I'm surprised. I was short biased and it actually happened. Well, who knows? Not bad. Right? See, it looks like a look below and fail of 7. Let's see if it holds 7. Right? Look below, fail. Still kind of a slow market. Remember, if you are long, there is going to be a seller up here at 10, right? So you bought one at 8, bought one at 8 1/4, and I'll be out here in the tens. Thank you very much. I'm not greedy. I'm flat. I know there's going to be a seller at the overnight low, right? I'll take 2 points. Hey, Anne Marie, how are you? Good to see you. Yeah, it's nice to have a bit of a sell order, you know? Maybe the next couple of days we can, get down to, under 66.70 maybe? Who knows? I'm optimistic. We're still inside yesterday's range, so there is that. 6 minutes left to go in this half-hour period. Oh, that's right. It's that time of year, isn't it, Anne Marie? Man, this year I blinked and this year just went by. Poof. Like September, I don't remember how September went by so quickly. Where it's like the 24th already, for God's sakes. How did that happen? I'm still stuck at Labor Day. Hey, Leslie, how you doing? Now, this is all short covering before the previous day low. You guys know that, right? This is where all those folks got short yesterday at the end of the day, and then they got that little surprise. So there should be a decent amount of buying before 6,700. I know. I measure time by stock symbols, like deals I worked on. Oh, look at that, a bid. Quelle surprise, right? Now they're going to sell into it at 12. If they don't, I'd be really surprised. That was quite a bit of short covering. That was once again remembering, right? What did we trade out in Globex? 115K, 122K, and it was what, 250? No, 500K from the liquidation, right? So we still have a couple of 100,000 contracts to clean up. I feel bad for my parents. They spent all this money on education, and I ended up being a penny stock jockey. Hilarious. Like seriously, like they tried violin lessons. Dear God, that was horrible. You know, yeah, I was, yeah, they tried to raise a gentleman. I ended up being an eye gouger in Vancouver. Good Lord. Working in nightclubs and then in trading. Seller is still at 11 and a half. Yeah, don't let your kids ever work in nightclubs, folks. Nothing good will come from it. Okay. Still a little bit of short covering. I'm not convinced that the low is in yet. That's just me. What do you guys think? If I was a size buyer, I don't know. I'd like to pay under six, under five. Seems to be just kind of holding still here. What is Tesla? What's Tesla doing? That crazy guy. Ooh, look at that, 433. Wow. Oh, my girlfriend's gonna be pissed. Where did she sell it? She sold it a while ago. Look at this creep. Oh, if we get accepted back in the overnight range, ugh, that might be it for our liquidation. Let's see, we were trend up for 4 days. Yesterday we broke trend. And if we stay inside yesterday's range, we will resume trend. But I'm too early. I'm too early. I'm getting ahead of myself. Yeah, you can have sellers at 12 and a half. Easy yes. Just so you know. Oh, yeah, yeah, data's incoming. Rats. Oh, that's not bad, AZS. 10 to 11 and a half. 11 and 3/4. Big pun. How you doing? There's a name from the past. There we go. There's B period opening. Nice trade, AZS. Way to get in there and rob the store. Good to hear. Yeah, it's been a while. Now, every short seller's nightmare is that they run out of supply here. Point of control is up at 18 and it's around 4,400 contracts. That hasn't moved down yet. Let's see if we can get it to move down and soak up all that overhead supply. Like this is like a big paper towel, right? I got to tell you though, this has been the most annoying market to short for years now. Like you get a couple of good ones in, And you better short on those down days. But holy cow. It's a bull market, as the old turkey would say. Follow through is a pain in the butt. That's the thing. Because we have so much algorithmic electronic trading, the market trades very methodically. Do you notice that? That human emotion is not in there anymore. So we have to adapt, right? It's like Terminator 2, or was it 3, where we have to battle the machines, right? It's really, when it's slow, you have to either build positions and sell a little bit, or wait for that right scalp. Come on, take out yesterday's low. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. The bids moved up. Oh, look, point of control moved up. There it is. 4,400 contracts there at 10. So we're flushing. It's like wringing out a towel. You guys ever taken a towel and twisted it to get all the water out of it? That's what we're doing now. We're twisting all those longs who are long above 16. We're trying to flush them out down here so we can take it up again. That might take a while. If we really want to flush them out, we'll go take out yesterday's low and come back up over it. Yeah, we're still vacuuming up all those contracts. Look, look, left two ES contracts under the couch. No, there's a couple under the sofa over there, the chair. Get those. Look at that bids. Look at those bids. There's bids and bids and bids. I used to really enjoy short selling. The intention is always to take it higher. Rosemark, I want you to close your eyes and pretend that you manage $1 billion, okay, my friend? You got $1 billion under management, okay? And you get a 2% management fee, right? Every year just for looking pretty, right? So it pays for your offices, your Bloomberg, legal, back office, right? Pays for the lease on that little Aston Martin, you know? It's all good in the hood. Now, next year, do you want to get paid less? Right? Log log 14, selling 16 quarter. And I'm banging them out with both hands. Goodbye. Flat. Yes, a lot of rejections around previous day low and highs. You know why, Big Pun? Everybody can see them. Whether you've got the crappiest software or the most sophisticated software, everybody can see the low and the high, and they're all waiting there to pounce. Right? So, Rosemark, you don't want to get paid less. Right? You grow your assets from $1 billion to $1.5 billion. Now you got 30 million in fees. Right? Nobody wants to get paid less. The market just keeps getting marked up higher and higher. All the big positions are owned by trillion-dollar companies that have no intention of selling Apple. The only time, okay, look, some companies, they'll trim their position like Buffett trimmed Apple. But on the whole, companies like BlackRock have so much money that they have to hold for, they think they're going to make a flying car that's, made out of soy that you can, in 20 years, you go from LA to San Francisco and then you can eat your car, right? Completely biodegradable, right? You know, they think the stock's going to be $4,000 a share by then, right? In 40, 50 years, right? Now, if Apple came out and said, hey, you know, we're not making electronics anymore, we're going to make cotton candy, that would be a problem. It's a material change in the business. So as long as the companies don't do anything stupid, right? Yes, flying electric car made out of soy. So when you get to the destination, you can eat it. It's completely environmentally friendly. I don't know. Look, I've been staring at these charts for 33 years. You think my mind is not completely sound. You're right. I come up with these things. But anyway, they're not selling the stock for 40 years. That's the whole thing, right? Exactly. It's a sin to be wasteful, Hank. You got to pick up all of those contracts. So the market is engineered and built and structured, right, for large, massive hedge funds and those funds to just get long, right? Just get long and hold it. Companies keep buying back stock, interest rates keep going down. Rich people don't sell their stock, they take loans out against the portfolio. That's what's called private banking. High net worth individuals. You know, like when you go to certain places in Europe and then there's just a little nameplate. There's no bank, there's no windows, just a little nameplate. Private banking. Indo-Suez Capital Management. Right? Where if you have 50 million in assets and more, they'll be happy to accommodate you. Right? It's the kind of private bank where you don't, you know, you don't go in, that you have a relationship manager. Right? That's all geared. It's all collateral too, right? All of those billions of shares of Apple, price of the collateral can't go down, as Scarf Guy says. Right? I'm not a macro guy, so I listen to other macro people, right? Like Scarf Guy, Raoul Paul, right? All these ex-Goldman guys, they know more than me. So the one thing he said that was very interesting is that all of this stock is collateral, so the price of the collateral can't go down. Otherwise, the whole thing comes apart like a cheap suit, right? Yeah, there's a lot of sharp people. Even Hugh Hendry, right? The Hunter S. Thompson of securities analysts, right? That's the nice thing about having Confessions of a Market Maker. That podcast has allowed me to talk to some really, really cool, intelligent people. You learn a lot. Oh, okay. Small candles, slow business. Look, right? Look at the last 5 minutes. Look how small those candles are. That's just slow business, right? Yeah. I like take what you can get and give nothing back. That's really our motto. And every day, just take a little. They won't notice. Anybody ever see Bonfire of the Vanities? Tom Hanks. He's a Bond salesman in New York. It's a good movie. A little cheesy, but it's funny. The 80s were cheesy in general. Well, folks, this is horrible, right? This is that trading. This is where I'm not engaging in this, right? There's nothing to scalp. There's only two things you can do. One is you can build a long position. Two is you can build a short position, right? So now you have to go through the benefits of doing either or, right? If you were to build a short position, where would your exit be, right? Where would your exit be? 16, right? I also see evidence of bids, right? I see higher lows, sorry, on the candles. Not very many, but I see the bid kind of moving up. It's creeping, right? We have sellers at 13 and a half. So if I was going to buy a position, I'd rather buy between 7 and 10 than 10 and 13. I think that's a little high, right? Now, I don't have conviction on either. So should I be just trading for trading's sake? I don't think so. Yeah, wait to see who's offside prior to the London close. But right now, see, look at the point of control. The point of control is right at the overnight low to the tick, right? That's all short covering. The problem is if you get enough short covering, it'll hold the market steady. And that steady price action, see this stability? People will start buying it. You know what? It's safe to buy it. It's holding 10. It's sticky as hell. It's like, it's like we tipped over a jar of honey or something. It's like it's really sticky. But I'm not seeing aggressive sellers. Right? I don't see aggressive sellers. And that's the problem with my short hypothesis. Right? I don't see aggressive sellers. Would have been smart, instead of me running my mouth, would have been to be buying here and selling here. But I didn't catch that. So if you're a breakout long, look for sellers at 16, okay? If you are a breakout long, right? It's gotta hold 13 and a half, right? Don't be afraid to be a seller. Yeah, don't be afraid to be a seller in choppy markets, right? I think, right? I think it's important for retail traders to get used to the feeling of getting paid. Call me nuts, but I think you guys should used to getting paid, even 20 or 50 bucks a day, consistently. You'll get used to it. You'll start to expect to get paid. Once you start expecting to get paid, you will do business with the expectation of being paid, right? What you're aiming for is consistency, right? Smooth consistency. You can always scale up, right? Just keep it nice and smooth, right? Most retail traders won't make $50 a day consistently for 3 months, for 6 months. It's hard. This market messes with your head every day. You have to have an execution plan going forward that's sustainable and that you can adapt, right? And an execution plan that tells you when the market has changed, right? If you want to learn how to do it in a simple way, right? What did you do, Lear? Jeez. You're fiddling with the computer again. Great. Now we know why your wife has relegated you to the garage. Right? I think we should get used to being paid. I am all for you making 30 to 40 points a trade, but learn how to make $5 first. Learn how to make $20 first and keep it. Now, I know it sounds kind of humiliating, but the skill has to come before the money. The money will not come unless the skill is there. You have to build the skill, right? We all have to. Nobody leaps out of the womb and just trades. Like, you ever seen it taking a 5-year-old and put him in a trading chair, strap a headset to him and let him go nuts? I don't know. I'm curious. I have never seen anybody just sit down and start trading and just make money. Like, you know how, like, you see people sit down and play Mozart and they've never played the piano? I don't know how that works. All I know is everybody I know who's successful in this business had to work a crap ton because retail is the hardest job in finance. Up to 16 and 3/4. It's not bad. The levels are working today. The levels are working. But, this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing this. Look at this. You see that? I'm not a trend line guy, but I do understand a trend line. If you look at that, I don't know where you guys draw your trend lines. I can never figure it out. But if you see that, to me, it means the bid is following the offer higher, which means buyers are following price higher because they have to, right? Because supply ran out under 10, supply ran out under 13, right? So now, if you want to buy it, you got to buy it here. Hope that makes sense. Just ways of visualizing so when you put trades together, right? Like, say we had built a position between 10 and 13. Well, we should have been out of it by now. As soon as it broke 14, we should have been on the offer. Boom, 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 out. Right? One at 14, one at 15, one at 16, one at 16 and 3/4. 3, 4 contracts in, out, gone. Thank you, goodbye. Right? Do that enough so you actually see a difference in your trading account. See a difference in how you feel because now you will expect to be paid. Not like, oh, maybe I'll pass this evaluation. No, I expect to be paid because I'm doing proper business. Think about it. The other thing is, when you're first starting out and you make 50, $100, try and keep it. You know, try and keep your paycheck. Seller, see, look at that constant seller at 16 and a half. Look at that. See the tops of those candles? Right? So when you see that, if you're a short seller and you see 3 candles with the same top, well, there's a competitive seller there. So that means you could sell alongside. Now, unfortunately, the bottom of the candles are the exact same place too. So we're trapped in a little mini balance zone here. And you'd be looking for 13 and a half if you were short 16. But it's a tight trade. Right? Once again, the smaller the candles, the less likelihood your trade is going to have a really good effect. You're not going to get a really big move, right? Because business is slow. That's all. Yeah, definitely looking like an inside bar and B period, Jeff. Right. The overnight inventory was long, right? It's now liquidating, right? It's exactly the path that we talked about. Remember? We took this, we sold it up here at night. We ran out of buyers, we put it on sale, right back to where we bought it, cost basis, right? Once we clean it up here, we're going to try and go and sell it from 20 to 26, right back up here, right? That is the path of inventory. That's all it is. So you just want to be trading with the path. Look below and fail of 13 and a half, you'll be targeting 16. Maybe we'll get a B profile today, right? Right? Maybe it sits and you get that B profile where it just kind of fills this area out. We'll see. Right? We still have a little bit of inventory from up here, right? We had all of this, right? We still have inventory above us that's still selling out, right? 800,000, 1.8 million. Just take some time, clean it out. Yeah, with the look below and fail, right? The business reason for the trade is as follows. The market comes down and sell orders force price to go under 7. When it pops back up over 7, those sell orders are completed. So we buy 7.5, 8. Put our stop underneath 7. Right? So what's the business reason for the trade? I'm going long at 7, 8, hoping to sell at 10, 11, 12. If somebody comes and offers my product, I'm long at 7, 8, 7.5. Somebody comes and offers it at 6.5. My inventory is mispriced. I must exit the trade. The trade does not make sense anymore. Right? So it's not, as a retail trader, there is nothing that is 100% that you're going to make money all the time. It's dependent on the order flow. So when it looks below and it fails, right, and it doesn't transact under 7, it means they don't have to sell it under 7 anymore. We have people who are willing to pay 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? And that's why this is the most economical way of stops, because your stop can be the bottom of that candle, and if you're feeling like Daddy Warbucks, you can use that one. But there is no reason to have a stop down here, because it does not make any business sense. Right? So the trade makes sense as a business. The stop makes sense structurally. Right? And then you put sell orders out at our levels. So as the market goes up, it takes you out of your position. That's the trade. The best way to know when it has failed is it comes back up over a level and can't get underneath it again, like it's doing right now at 13.5. It just looked below 13.5. Now let's see. The next candle opens up. If it stays above 13.5, it's going to fail, and they're going to try and rotate it higher so they can sell higher. It's the world's largest used car lot. We're just moving inventory back and forth. So when we're trading in our trade setup, in our execution profile, in our management of execution, we know where our stops are, right? We know where our stops are. So sometimes you get into the trade too early. As soon as it breaks 13 and a half, it depends on the price action. I love to wait for a second candle to confirm. Sometimes I don't have the luxury. Sometimes the market's too fast, right? I'd love it if I had the time to wait for a second candle to confirm. That's a beautiful trade when that happens, right? Because this second candle's not confirming, not yet, right? So that way we can kind of sit and stock the trade a little bit longer because it's slow right now, right? It's okay with being slow. And sometimes it'll look below and fail so quick that you don't have time to get in and you'll miss the trade. There are a lot of the times when I was learning how to do this, and even still now, where I'll be waiting and I'll be waiting for a little bit more confirmation and I'll hesitate and boom, it'll just take off without me. And that happens. That's just business, right? You can't get them all. And then once you've perfected the look below and fail, the look above and fail is a great way to short. And that is just the opposite. It looks above a level, fails to stay above it because sellers are competing. So you sell in this area, try and get the best execution you can, and then you just use that candle as your stop. And then your first target is the bottom of the zone. Well, I think it's going to sit down here and go sideways for a bit. What's volume? 200,000 contracts. Yeah. Most of these guys are all just trying to make sure they don't screw up their quarter, right? I would be. You're welcome, Wirt. Thanks for dropping by. I think it's the first time I've spoken to you. Well, folks, that's it for me today. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful and safe trading day. Come visit us at thetradingsyndicate.org. Steve's doing polls to see whether he wants to keep me on YouTube. So get some people coming in and signing up. Try us out for a month, and I can keep doing these YouTubes. Thanks, everyone. Stay out of trouble. Bye for now.